Vision boards. Should you make one? I think you should. All right. Why talk about vision boards? For a few reasons. One, I think they are very powerful, and I'm going to explain why. Two, it's about time I redo mine. And three, I guess I just thought of it, and I like to describe what I think is people's hangups and what can be helpful. First of all, effective. All the research out there says that that first 5 minutes when you wake up and that last 5 minutes before you fall asleep, you are in your most receptive state. Thoughts become action. Actions are what shape the world. It really is where you discipline your mind to be that creates your reality. There's the scientific and purely Newtonian way of making a case for that. There's the all kinds of spiritual ways for making a case for that. Very few people disagree that thoughts become motion and you shape your reality either to a little degree or a massive degree by the images and thoughts and ideas and where you allow your mind to be. Now, secondly, I'm going to make one. And I want to talk about, I guess I'll combine, secondly, I'm going to make one. And thirdly, how do you make one? I'm going to just combine that into, if it's true that they're effective, I mean, you certainly should make a vision board. Now, a few things that I do just technically to be effective is I put my vision board on the wall right beside my bed. Now, there's no rules, obviously. A lot of people buy like a tack board and they can, quickly with tacks or whatever, redo their vision board. People can use magazines, cutouts, all of those sorts of things. Me personally, I go hunting for images that I want or that I like that work for me. And I print them and I tape them and sort of collage them to my wall. I like it to be borderless and I like it to be right where I see in that first and last part of every day. That's just sort of a boost that makes sure that I'm bringing that information that I've crafted, of my best future into my mind and my soul frequently. And then I stay sort of connected to and about that energy. Now, a lot of people where they get hung up on vision boards is maybe they're hunting for a picture of whatever it is, the sort of home that they'd like to have. You need to know the why, right? And the why needs to be in line with your truth. So you don't, I mean, for me, I don't want a big home just because I want a big home to look good. I want a big home because I'd love to fill it with artists. I fantasize so much about a life of a bunch of artistic hippies just living in a home big enough for 20 with 50 living in there, making whatever projects we feel like. And that's beside the point. What is on point is people get hung up trying to find the specific image. Oh, I don't know if I want clothes that look exactly like that, or I want to speak in front of people, but not in an auditorium that looks like that. You have to kind of let go of like the real details, and you know what your ideal future feels like. And that's really the key. You might have a vision and move in that direction, and it isn't exactly that vision. It ends up being something a little different than your vision. But when you start thinking, oh, maybe this future, oh, maybe I would do this, maybe my ideal future would look like this, and you start thinking about how to construct your vision board, you know what sort of images and ideas feel in line with your ideal future. And that's the feeling you're going for. So you might be able to find a picture that isn't precisely what you think you want, but it still kind of feels right. I don't know if it's a house that looks like that, but I know it has a garden. I know it has flowers like that. And when I look at this picture, it just feels right. That's what you want. I know I want to be speaking. I don't even know about what. I don't know what sort of events, but when I look at this club, maybe it doesn't feel exactly me, but I look at this, I couldn't tell you why, but it just kind of feels right. So you're hunting for images that feel like your ideal future. And then you put them out anywhere you want to, whatever. But again, for me, I recommend putting them right beside your bed. And the reason I thought to do this episode is we're in a new year. It's 2022. That's crazy. What is it? The 17th or 18th or something when I'm recording this. And I'm going to redo my vision board tonight. I bought some new ink because I usually go right through it. And I'm going to assemble for myself visions of what I'd like my future home to look like. My vision boards usually have a heart right in the middle because I want things to be heart-centered and heart cohesive. Because I really think, you have to feel your way to that future. If you don't feel it, it's not going to happen. And then I surround it with things like, for myself, it's speaking. For myself, it's acting and performances. For myself, it's creating art. There's things to do with wealth on there. I put headshots of actors that are very profound to me. I put headshots where I feel like even through an old image of that person, I can feel their soul coming through. That's really what you want in the headshot. And just artists that I respect. There's usually, there is right now, and there will be again, sacred geometry on mine because I am blown away by the mathematical precision of that stuff and its connection to the universe. But those are all just a snapshot of the sorts of things that are in line with what feels right about my ideal future that I'm writing for myself based on my truth. You have to do the same thing. Get some pictures, find stuff that feels right, stick it up, and then have the guts to dream big. Have the guts to test the limits of your imagination as you craft what feels like the most ideal future for you. Have an ideal day, everyone.